before Samsung dominated Android, before Xiaomi and OnePlus made flagship killers, before Google even released the Pixel, there was HTC, the brand that literally invented the Android future. The first Android phone? HTC. The first 4G phone? HTC. The first metal unibody design? HTC. The first VR headset that changed gaming? HTC? At one point, HTC was so innovative that Google, Microsoft, and even Apple watched them closely. And yet, within a few short years, the brand collapsed from owning 10% of the global smartphone market to less than 0.1%. This is the insane story of how HTC rose to the top, built the foundations of modern Android, and then destroyed itself with some of the biggest mistakes in smartphone history. Section 1. The birth of a giant. HTC was founded in 1997 in Taiwan by Chair Wang and Peter Chu. While Apple was working on colorful iMacs and Nokia was dominating with brick phones, HTC was quietly doing something different. They were making phones for other companies. Yes, HTC started as a ghost manufacturer, designing and building devices for brands like Compaq, Speer, Palm, Dell, Verizon, T-Mobile. This is called ODM manufacturing, and HTC was brilliant at it. They built some of the earliest Windows mobile PDAs, the predecessors to modern smartphones. But everything changed in 2008. Google announced Android, and HTC was chosen to build the very first device. That phone was the HTC Dream, also known as the T-Mobile G1, the first ever Android smartphone in history. With that one release, HTC officially became a leader. Fact, by 2011, HTC became the #1 smartphone brand in the US, even beating Apple and Samsung temporarily. Question: do you remember the first time you saw the HTC Dream or the early Android interface? Section 2. HTC's Golden Age. Innovation after innovation, HTC didn't stop at the first Android phone. They went on a legendary innovation streak that shaped the smartphone world. 1. The HTC Hero 2009. The first Android phone with a truly custom UI. HTC Sense was smoother, prettier, and more advanced than stock Android. The world's first 4G smartphone. Reviewers called it light years ahead of the competition. 3. HTC One X 2012. The first polycarbonate unibody design. Stunning display, beautiful curves. Tech reviewers loved it more than the Samsung Galaxy S3 that year. 4. HTC One M7 2013. This phone changed everything. All-metal body, amazing front-facing speakers, ultra-pixel camera, premium build quality. It looked so good that many reviewers said, "This feels like the iPhone of Android." For a moment, HTC was no longer competing with Samsung. Samsung was competing with HTC. Fact: in 2011, HTC's market value was higher than LG, Sony, BlackBerry, and Motorola combined. Question: which HTC phone do you think was their peak? One M7, M8, or Evo 4G? Section 3. The slow poison. Mistakes that killed HTC. HTC didn't fall overnight. Its collapse came slowly, silently, and by its own hands. Here are the fatal mistakes. Mistake 1, too many phones. 0 branding. Samsung also launched many phones, but they built clear identity. Galaxy S flagship, Galaxy Note productivity, Galaxy AJ budget. HTC? They released phones like One S, One M7, One X, One X Plus, One XL, Desire V, Desire SV, Butterfly, Rhyme, Cha-Cha, Salsa. Nobody knew which one was the flagship. The average customer was confused. Mistake 2, terrible marketing. Samsung spent billions mocking Apple in ads. Apple spent billions telling emotional stories. HTC spent almost nothing. They relied on tech reviewers to spread the word. But tech reviewers don't sell phones to the mass market. HTC built great products, but terrible commercials, and even worse branding. Mistake 3. The ultra-pixel disaster, 2013-2015. HTC tried something risky, a 4-megapixel camera with bigger pixel size. In theory, low-light photos were better. In reality, images looked soft, blurry, and washed out. Reviewers loved HTC's hardware, but the camera became a meme. Meanwhile, Samsung was improving, and Apple was dominating mobile photography. Mistake 4. Bad battery life. HTC's beautiful metal bodies came with a sacrifice: small batteries and overheating issues. Users loved the design, but hated the endurance. Mistake 5. Internal drama and leadership chaos. By 2015, HTC's CEO Peter Cho was overwhelmed. Product decisions became inconsistent. Teams were clashing. Morale collapsed. Even HTC employees said the company felt directionless. Fact: HTC's profits dropped 83% in 1 year, 2015. One of the biggest collapses in tech history. Question: do you think HTC's biggest mistake was cameras or branding confusion? Section 4. The world moves on, and HTC gets left behind. Meanwhile, Samsung took over Android. They had money, marketing, and supply chain control. Apple built an ecosystem: iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop. HTC could never match that. Chinese brands attacked the mid-range: Xiaomi, Huawei, Oppo, Vivo. Cheaper phones, better battery life, cleaner designs. HTC couldn't compete on price, marketing, camera quality, battery life, after-sales support, brand recognition. It was a slow death, but an inevitable one. By 2017, HTC's smartphone division was losing so much money that they literally sold half the company to Google. Yes, Google bought 2,000 HTC engineers to build the Google Pixel line. HTC helped create Android and then became the worker force behind Google's own flagship. How ironic is that? Fact: from a peak valuation of $37 billion in 2011, HTC dropped below $1 billion by 2020. Question: do you think HTC could have survived if they marketed themselves like Apple or Samsung? Section 5. The unexpected rebirth. HTC isn't dead. Most people don't know this, but HTC actually still exists. It shifted focus into VR, HTC Vive. The Vive is one of the most advanced VR systems ever created. It competes directly with the MetaQuest. Gamers still love the precision of the Vive tracking system. 2. Enterprise VR. HTC now sells VR headsets to hospitals, aerospace, education, universities, training institutions. 3. Occasional smartphones. They still release a few mid-range devices, but the golden age of HTC phones is truly over. HTC transformed from a smartphone legend into a quiet, behind-the-scenes tech company. And honestly, that makes HTC one of the saddest but most inspiring stories in tech. So what do you think? Was HTC's fall caused by bad cameras, too many models, terrible marketing, leadership chaos, or the rise of Samsung and Chinese brands? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten tech empires, hit like, subscribe, and share, because next time we're uncovering another giant.